Okay, let's welcome back to Java Express. So we offer a YouTube channel as well for a full tech stack of Java programming. So you can go to this our channel for other benefits. So along with that we teach core Java as well also. So let's start. So it's our fourth day of our core Java journey. So we have seen a couple of sessions and we understood some of the topics earlier. So whoever not aware, so I have shared already core Java links, what I have discussed in earlier sessions. Please go through that. If you don't have the link of core Java playlist, please let me know. I'll forward to you. You can text me on WhatsApp to get those core Java links, YouTube links. Okay, let's I'll quickly give a short recap what we have discussed. So we have reached uh, till writing a sample program in Java. So yeah, so we have written a class called Hello World, and we have mentioned one main method. So we are going to see detail about what is in this main method, and we have seen executing this sample program in command prompt or terminal if you are using Mac or Linux. And also we have used written a sample program in the Eclipse as well. And we have run this program and saw the output also. Okay. So let's see that why we need to write this main method and what is the significance of this. So we were discussing like we need to define a method called main in this exact structure so that JVM can understand and call this main method. Why this main method need to be written? Why this is mandatory? So why it needs to have this complete structure? Why can't it cannot have some other structure so that the JVM, why cannot it call? So I have another slide where I can show you what is the purpose of that. Before that, we will understand what are the keywords inside a main method, and we have complete guide about keywords. Each keyword which comes in Java that will come in another sessions. Just to understand main method, I am just giving a short discussion here. Like the public is a keyword and also access modifier. So we have multiple access modifiers in Java. One is called public, private, protected. So if you don't mention any access modifier, that is called default. So that we are going to see in detail how to access this access modifier enabled functions or classes and all that we'll see in coming classes. Just to understand, public is a one access modifier which we have to use in front of main method, and there is a keyword called, another keyword is static. So static is one keyword in Java. So if you have this static in front of any method, variable or class, you no need to create the object of it. We are going to see more about static in JVM architecture. And the another one is void. This is a return type of a method. So a method like main or some ABC or some order, some text, whatever the name you give, whatever left you write, it is called a return type. So it must be placed here. You cannot place a return type somewhere other than the name of the method. And these are called arguments. Whatever there in the brackets, these are called arguments. So main method takes
Can you repeat
arguments.
static?
Sorry.
Can you repeat static?
So static is a keyword. So when we use static in front of a variable or a method or a class, we no need to create the object of it. Why don't we need to create the object of it? We are going to see that in detail when we are discussing about the JVM architecture. As of now, we don't need to create the object of a class. Like if you take this class, we know need to create the object of this class to access this method. Why we should not create, why main method is declared as static, that we will see in this session only. Clear? I hope it's clear.
Yes, yeah.
So this is a method name, and a string is a class in Java. So we are going to see this in another session called string constant pooling. With this class name, you will see thousands of hundreds of questions around you around this class in your interviews. That we'll discuss for sure. I am going to give some assignments also on string constant pool. So that will come and see. And another thing is like array of string objects. So this is one of the array declaration in Java. So every programming language has this way of declaring the arguments, and why it needs to be array, that we'll see now. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so I have depicted a simple way of understanding why main method needs to be in this structure. So this is a JVM. Consider this is a JVM. So JVM will be placed on top of RAM, random access memory, in our computer. So consider you have written a program like this, hello world, and you defined main method with string varargs, argument arrays, and you have written some logic. So just I have written a printing like welcome to Java course. So why JVM don't understand other than this structure, right? Why it needs to be in this way only. So consider that I'll give you a sample way of example. Like you have a house. Okay. Consider that this is your application. This is house is a your application, means set of programs. So you need to have an entry point, right? To execute your code, or you want to go to your home, what to see the different rooms or bedrooms or hall, kitchen, to see all these rooms inside your house, you need a gate as an entry point. So so this entry point, someone has to understand, right? So like if I want to go inside this house, I'll say that there is a key here, so open this and go inside. So it is giving some structure. So this is a gate, and there is a road also there, and these angles are telling me like I can open the gate, right? If you see a wall, I cannot break the wall and go inside it, right? So for a gate, I have an option to buckle up, and there are rotators where I can rotate the gate and go inside. So there is a structure. With that, I can understand and open this gate and go inside the home. So the same way, JVM telling us you need to define a structure which I can understand. So JVM is telling like give the method name as access modifier as public. Why public? Because the person who is coming inside may not be a private member of this house, right? It can be a public. So why public? So in access modifier session, we are going to see that there is a private, right? So private means there is a concept called packaging in Java. So if your class, if your class is here and inside a package, and you can access private members within this class only. You cannot access the private members from another class. Means there is a bedroom. So who can go into the bedroom is the person who belongs to this house only, right? The same way for the private also, the person, the class or class member, other members of this class can only access. Other than that, other than the class cannot access the private members. So protected members also, there is a stuff I don't want to confuse in at this stage. So protected member is like in the same package, it should be there. If it is outside package, only subclasses can access. That will definitely go and see. Public, something you understand now is like you can access from anywhere. So the person may be outsider, he can go and open this gate and see that. So like that, JVM is not part of our application, right? So have you written anything here? Like if you see my code here, we have written only a hello world program. So inside our Java basics, we have just created one package and one class. We don't have any other thing. So JVM also a outsider. Is like is not part of our application. It is a part of Java Development Kit. So Java Development Kit has a JRE, Java Runtime Environment. So JVM is part of Java Runtime Environment. So he is an outsider. So to access this main method, we need to define as a public, so that can only JVM can access this main method. Clear? Any doubt on this first keyword in the main method? If not, so I can jump into the another keyword called static. So one person asked like, what is static? So why it needs to be static? So if you see our code, right, we did not create any object of this. We have simply defined public static void main and telling JVM to access this, right? So how do we create the object in Java? It's like hello world, new, hello world. This is a way of creating the object. So why it needs to be static? JVM can simply create the object and access this, right? So why it needs to be a static? So why? Because when JVM want to access this main method, this is one of the important question in interview also, and for certification also, why they'll give some different structures of a main method. So that I have prepared one slide for identifying which are the right main method. So I'll ask you, so you have to answer to all way of structuring the main method. So before that, we'll understand it. So the static. So JVM can directly access the main method without creating the object if I define main method as static. If I don't define as static, so they have to, JVM has to create the object of it, right? When we create the object of it, there is a space will be created inside the JVM. So JVM will create one. So if you see this is JVM, when you create the hello world object, so it will create one object. So creating something here means occupying some space, right, inside the JVM. So if you have hundreds of classes in your application, and all the 100 classes of application has main method, so then JVM has to create the 100 objects here, right, to access their methods. It is like waste of memory, right? Why do you need to create the object and storing that location, members data, everything inside JVM? It is waste of memory. It is reducing your computer performance as well. So to avoid this, we have to JVM is telling like you define as a static, so that instead of creating the object, I will directly access the main method using the class name. How can I access? How does JVM do? So inside JVM code, what it will do, it will take the class name and dot main. Okay, directly it will call with the class name. So if I define a, so let's see that I'll give you one simple thing like int static int value. If I give 10, let's see that can I access this with the class name. If you see that it is giving some values, right? So it is suggesting me like class, value, and main. So these are static members of a class. So that's why it is giving. If I print this, so yesterday we have discussed this, so I'm just commenting this.
Hello?
Hello. Yes, please.
It's Eric.
Eric, hi Eric. So we
Yeah,
just have started. Yes.
I'm driving, so I'm just gonna watch the video tomorrow. I was now home. I'm driving to go back home right now. can't really understand it on my mobile phone and driving at the same time. Hopefully, I can get home before the class is through with. If not, I'll join tomorrow.
Yeah, Eric, you can safely drive. So I'll share you the video as well. So you can see the video and later also you can understand.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
sir.
safe drive. Yeah.
All right, sir.
Yeah. So we were in Eclipse here. So we'll run this. So the way that Hello World is a class and it is accessing the static member. So consider that if I remove this, when I remove it is compiling me, like it is saying like cannot make a static reference to non-static field. So what is a non-static field? Is the value. So JVM, if it is a static member, main method is a static member, then only JVM can access the main method using the class name. Clear here? Any doubt? So you are with me, right, guys?
So basically, you're saying that if you use static, there is no need of creating the object. You're saying hello world, new hello world.
Exactly, 100%. We no need to create the object. So why JVM needs to create? So it's a waste of memory, right? So inside your RAM. So when you define a static member, main as a static member, then directly it can call from using the class name. Clear? So I'll give you another example. Like consider, I mean, it's not the exact JVM program. Consider JVM has this kind of coding. So something like void call main. Okay. So this is also static. Let's consider. So this is JVM code. Consider this a JVM code. I'll say dummy code instead of pseudo code. Dummy code. Okay. So when JVM has to call, so what it will do? Hello world dot main. So this is a var array. So I'll simply say we are going to see this. What is this? Ramesh, if for your question, consider that the JVM has this kind of code. Okay. So what it will do, it will take the class name and then use a method and then it pass some arguments. What is this arguments? We are going to see that. I hope this is clear to you, to your question.
Yeah.
Otherwise, what it has to do, if it has to create a hello world and new hello world, then hello world dot main. See this, we can do like this also. Hello world, new hello world, and then with a variable name, and we can access the main method. But if you have 1,000 classes in your application and it has 1,000 main methods, then JVM has to create 1,000 objects. It's a waste of thing, right? Why I need to because why I need to create the object and access, where if it is a static, then I can directly access with the class name. Is it clear now? So there is a dummy code that JVM has, but this kind of code will be there inside the JVM. I hope this is clear.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So we have seen why it needs to be a static, right? Now we'll understand what is the void. Why it needs to be a void. So in Java, whatever we write, the left side, immediate left side of a method name, this is called method. We're going to see what is method, what is variables and all to understand main method. So this is a main method name. and what is immediate left side is called a return type. So if you don't want to return, then we can give a keyword called void. It is a Java keyword. Okay. So if you give void, what does this mean? So whatever the calculation you are doing, whatever the operations you are doing inside this, you no need to return. You don't want to return, then we can declare it as a void. Then why main method is declared as a void? Because consider, I'll just remove this code as we understood it. So now we called a main method using the class name. Consider that if it is returning something. So let me show you what is the return type and how can we do that. So simply I will give a static method int like sum. So in sum, I'll give two arguments, int a comma int b. So I can say return a plus b. So it is means like let's see, for simplicity I'll give int c equal to a plus b and return the c. So if you have a program like this, and then I'll just comment this also. Now I will call hello world dot sum. What I'll give 2 comma 3. Okay. So now I'm calling a static method called sum, which does the summation of two variables provided inside a arguments. So 2 and 3 I'm passing. So the calculation, like if you take a banking application, you want to do some summation, like it is your bank balance and it is the amount coming from another account. So if you summation, the total sum is called your ultimate final bank balance, right? So like that, if I pass two arguments 2 and 3 and do the summation, so you want the summation of this, then you have to keep a return type, the result of this complete function. So return C, so it will return the value. So that you can use this value like final balance, right? So you can utilize this final balance for the further instructions in your Java. Like if you have some other code here, you can utilize this final balance. So why main method is defined as void? Because it is the JVM is no worry about your what is returning from the main method. Why it needs to? Because it's your personal logic, right? It is your application logic. It is your own company logic. Why JVM needs to worry about what are you returning from here? It is waste to it, right? So it will go as a garbage collector only. So consider that in the same scenario here, if I am doing, if I am using final balance, like final balance, then save final balance to database. So in this case, I need this final balance from the operation of sum to save in the database. So in this case, I need return type, that what function is resulting here. So in case of main method, JVM is no worry at all about what are you doing here and what are you returning here, right? Is it clear? When it is no need to worry, then it is simply telling JVM like you mentioned it as void. It is waste to me if you return something from the main method also, because I am not going to interfere in your business logic, whatever you mention here. Clear, guys? So do you have any question on why it is void here? Anybody?
So basically,
Yeah.
whatever methods it is calling, it need not worry about what method that is returning. So it will not consider that. So that is why void is given there.
Exactly. So JVM doesn't need, right? What is your business? What is JVM does is like, you define this, I'll just simply call, that's it. I no need to worry about your business logic, why you are doing I plus plus, why are you doing this 10, and it doesn't need and all. So it needs like, it just want to have a structure which they can call, JVM can call, right? Clear? So let's see that we have reached, we have understood about void also, and we will understand why it is main only. Why cannot I define like a Java Express, or why cannot define like some Google, Facebook? Why this needs to be a main, right? So we'll understand this, why it needs to be a main. So the matter is like, so consider that there is a person inside this house. So there is a person called Jacob inside this home. So a person who is entering to this house, so he doesn't know anybody inside this house. He knows only the name with a person called Jacob. So what this person who is entering inside, what he will call Jacob, right? Then only that person can come and talk to him or fulfill his requirements and go back to his house. Like that, JVM is telling like, you define a method name as main, so that I don't know what else you define. Like you may define Java Express, or you may define Google, or you may define YouTube. I don't know, but please define as a main, so that with a unique name like main, then I can call this. So if you give other than this name, I don't know. JVM will tell, I don't know what are you trying to define. So if you define as a main, then I am understanding, then I can call. So like that, if you see here example, so consider this is a JVM code, and it has hello world program, hello world class, and it is using main only. So it will always look for the main. So if it doesn't find main, then it will throw exception like, I am unable to see main. Shall we see that how JVM throws exception if I don't define a method with main? So here we can't see because it's IDE, so it is very intelligent to identify main method is there or not. So let's see our very first program which we have written in the Visual Studio Code. So to the people who are new, so it is a class we have defined inside a some basic notepad kind of stuff. So the class name is same, hello world. I have defined a main method. Let's run this program, understand what it is. Let's go here to the terminal. So ls, so I have a class called hello world. So what I'm trying to do, Java C. So this is a way to compile. You can go to previous videos to understand about this. Hello world.java. This is the compilation phase, and this is the execution phase, Java, and give the class name. You can get this information in detail in previous sessions. So now I'm executing this class. So what is the response? Welcome to Java course, core Java course. Now let's see that I did not define instead of main, I defined it as a something like ABC. So if I give the name as ABC, right? So if you see that I have given name as ABC, let's see that what JVM will says about this. So as I told, whenever we compile, whenever we change anything in the source code, definitely we have to compile that hello world.java. Now it is in compilation phase. It is compiled. Now run this program. See what it will return here. Exactly the way we are expecting. It is telling like main method not found in the class called hello world. Please define the main as a method. It is clearly telling, please define the main method. So with the name called main, and it is suggesting you like, this is the structure of the main method. It is telling like, define the access modifier as public, and it is gives keyword static so that I can access with the class name, and it is telling that give the return type void because I am at low priority about what you are trying to return, so I don't need your return type. So it is telling give the return type as void, and also it is telling like give the name as main. Then only I can identify the main method and access it from my JVM code. And also it is saying like string arguments. So what is arguments? We'll see now. I hope this is clear to you. Any doubts here before jumping to string arrays? So I hope it is clear. So this is that Java will throw exception if there is no a main method inside your program. So let's jump into PPT. Yes.
So after like there you did Java C and after you did Java. So what was the difference actually?
Sorry, can you come again?
You did Java C hello world.java. So you compiled with the main method inside it. So it
Yes.
compiled successfully. Now afterwards you gave Java hello world.
Yes.
Main method not found. So why that error? Have you commented out the main method or?
No, what I did, so instead of giving main method here, I just rename it to some ABC.
Okay.
Because JVM doesn't know, right? What I can give some Java Express also. So even if I give Java Express also, JVM doesn't know. So it knows only the main method with the name called main only. So if you define with the name called main, then only JVM will identify this main method. Otherwise, it cannot identify. That's why it is clearly telling you, telling us like main method not found. Please define a main method as like this below. Clear? Is that the answer to your question, or you have a different way of question?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. And yeah, so we have understood 4 things here: public, static, void, main. Now we'll see why it needs to be defined as string arrays. So I'll give you a simple example here. Later we are going to see what is command line arguments and how do we pass command line arguments to main method, and how do we utilize that values inside the main method. Okay, so I'll show here. So before that, we are in a IDE called Eclipse, right? So if I right click here, run Java application. If you see that when I do run as, so it is compiling and it is showing like run the program with the Java application. So consider that as we've seen, if I define it as like XYZ. So I have defined a method like XYZ. Then let's right click on this, run as. If you see that it is not showing Java application, right? Because IDEs are very intelligent and they are compiling the code. And also when you save the file, like if I have saved file, right? When I save file, so it internally compiles. When it compiles, it doesn't have main method. That's why it is not showing to run the application. Clear? Earlier, like if I give main only, so here it is modified. Now I'm saving this file. Immediately it will get compiled. And when I right click on this, run as, see now the Java application is enabled. So IDEs are intelligent to understand that main method is there in your class or not. Okay. So now we have different arguments are string. Okay. Now let's see, I have written some program like I don't want to confuse you more. So I have one session called command line arguments. There I will explain that how can we take the input values from command prompt, like if you see here, right? From here, like when I do Java when I execute right Java program, then here I can pass 1. So welcome back, guys. So we are discussing about the string arguments, right? Why it needs to be a string argument. So what main method understand is like, so we have understood public static void main, so string arguments, right? So consider that Java hello world. I'm doing this, right? When I run this here, when I executing my program here, I can pass some values also. How can I pass values? Like if I give some ABC space XYZ and some 1 2 3, some KOP, like this, I can pass the arguments also to this class. So while executing, so if I pass this, then it can be taken by the main method and do some operations on top of it. So then why it needs to be a string only, right? We have mentioned a string. Why it needs to be a string? Why cannot it be an integer? Because the reason behind is like, so here after hello world class name, then we are defining ABC, but if you see here we are defining 1 2 3 also, it is an integer, right? So with this we are telling like we can pass any kind of parameter here, like I can pass like some hash or some asterisk or some ampersand, so any kind of character I can pass here, so that our main method should take and do some operations on it. So if I take it as an integer, so if I take it as an integer, then integer cannot take hash, asterisk or ABC 1 2 3, right? 1 2 3 it only can take, it cannot take other than 1 2 3 here. So with that there is a chance of failuring executing of your program. So if you take as a string, right? If you take your main method as string, so string will take any kind of data. So it no needs to be a 1 2 3, it no need to be a any word like KOP, or it no need to be a hash, asterisk or ampersand symbol. It can be anything. So let me execute and show you so how it works. So I have written like string arguments. So in a, it is array, right? So array is on index basis. So at the index 0 I am taking value as A, at the index 1 I am taking B. So what I am trying to do is I am just combining these two with a hyphen. I'm just printing on the terminal. So let's see. Let's compile this code. Java C hello world dot Java. So we have compiled this. So now we are in run phase. Hello world. And then after giving space, I have to pass two arguments because I'm taking two here. So let's give face and then book. So if you give space, that goes as another index. If I give after space one more thing like insta, so it is a another string. So let's run this, what it will print. So if you see that it is printing face hyphen book. So why it is? So I am taking the first argument of array to a value called A, variable called A, and the first argument as B. So I am printing just with a hyphen. So let's see if I give one more parameter, what will happen. So now I am giving insta. Let's run. Okay. So let's run this again. So it is printing only face hyphen book. Why it did not print insta? Because inside my code I'm not taking at all. So if I take that value, let's write that string C equal to args 2, because it is a index 3. So index start from 0, so we are taking 2. So let's print that again with the hyphen. C. Okay, let's see what it will print. So we have changed the code. Definitely we have to compile. So we have compiled the code. Now run the program. Java hello world space space book space insta. So let's run this. What is the output we are going to expect? Anyone from our participant now? Like Chanvi, Ramesh, Prabhakar. What are we expecting from here? If I pass face space book space insta, will it give any error or will it give it will print something?
Print all three.
Okay, let's see that.
Yeah.
Yes, it printed 3 because I am reading 3 arguments which are giving here, right? Face hyphen book space hyphen and insta. So here with this we can understand that I can give unlimited parameters, right? Some KL, some UI, some ABC. I can give any number of parameter to run this. So as I am incrementing values, and it should be a array, right? If I give only normal ARGS is some variable, so it will take only one value. It won't take multiple values. That's why main method is telling like you pass whatever the values you want to, please provide as a array, so that if it is array, I can process the code. Right? This is the reason that it is a array here. And the reason behind string is like it can take any kind of value. So I can pass like 1, 2, 3, I can pass percentile, I can pass some bracket, anything I can pass. So it will be converted into string. Clear? Why we need to take all these parameters and stick to this so that main method can understand. Any doubts here? Clear, right? So let's see how you understood it in the next slides, where I'll give some tasks to you to understand and answer to the questions. So we'll jump into one other topic called application programming interface. So what is application programming interface? So it is a document which gives a list of packages, classes, and interfaces. So what is this? Classes, packages, interfaces along with their fields and methods. So generally, if you get some user story, right, in your whatever the company you are working, so they assign some user story, they'll tell you to develop some API. So you write the API, so you use some of the predefined libraries to execute your program. So like that, Java also gave some APIs. Let's go and see what is that. I'll open the new tab here and I'll write like Java 8 API documentation. Yeah, it is giving suggestions. So if I open this, right here, it is telling API, right? API documentation. Docs means documentation. It's an application programming interface. If you see that there are a bunch of, like if you see my slider here, there are a bunch of classes interfaces given by the Java. And also there are a bunch of packages also available here. So like hundreds and hundreds. If you see classes are there, thousands of classes by default given by the Java. So let's see that one of the famous package called java.lang. So here you're able to see, right, java.lang. So there is a package called java.lang. Click on that. When you click on that, so you'll be seeing multiple interfaces. There are some appendable, auto closable. There are some interfaces. We are going to see what is interface class in comment sections. So like that, there is a class called string. So click on the string. You will see about all the information. It is a documentation, right? It is saying like the string class represent the character of strings. All string letters in Java program such as ABC are implemented as instances of the class. So we'll see about more about string class inside a string topic. So just to understand you that there are APIs which Java already gave us, and some of them we develop in our projects for others to use. Like Java developed for us the string for our utilization. Okay. So using the APIs, the programmer can know how to use the methods, fields, classes, interfaces. So if you see that in the documentation, right, they are telling like use the string like this, or if you want to use characters like this, use like this. They are telling us, right? So documentation means it is for others to understand how they implement it. The same way Java APIs also telling Java APIs like the programmer can know how to use the methods, fields, classes, interfaces provided by Java libraries. So Java libraries, some of them they provided. So as a APIs, we have seen right packages and all. So this is all defined by Java. So we can use this and implement in our application. So also known as library. So like if you are developing an application using Hibernate, Spring Boot, or a Spring, so you need some library to be imported, because Spring Boot, Hibernate, they already developed some of the basic functions in their libraries. They will give as a package to you. You import in your project and run, so that you no need to write the code again. So that is called library. So consider that Ramesh has written some code. So it has some utility, like he is doing some operations on dates, like we have dates, right? And he's doing some operations on some like additions, multiplication. So he's doing some math operation. So Ramesh prepared one library, so he can share his team members. Like Prabhakar is the another team member of same project, so he can share that library to the Prabhakar. So Prabhakar can take the libraries, instead of he writing code again, he can simply utilize that library which is written by Ramesh, and then he can execute the program, right? So it contains the predefined Java code. Predefined means like Ramesh giving to Prabhakar means Ramesh already defined it. So for Prabhakar, it is already predefined. So like that, for us, Java also defined already this runtime exception, security exception, some of the classes or characters. These are already predefined. Predefined means defined before us. So we no need to implement this again. Okay. Any question on API, application programming interface? We'll quickly discuss about that. Do you have any questions on here? So if there are no questions, I hope it is clear to you. So let's jump into, yes. You have any question? Okay. So yeah, about Java, simply we'll discuss like it is, we have already discussed. It is like developed by Sun Microsystem and acquired by the Oracle in 2010. And it is one of the powerful programming language for the backend development. It is a powerful programming language which exists till calendar in the IT industry. Used for developing softwares like for mobiles, desktops, and servers. So mobile, if you see Android in your mobile, right? So Android is backed by Java only, and desktop applications, like you can develop some of the applications which can run on your machine, that also we can develop using Java. And servers like yeah, we can say backend applications like banking applications or some of the tools, those and all you can So you can use that server-based application. Yeah, sorry guys, there was some disturbance. So it is a machine independent, right? So as I told in my previous classes, one developer can develop and he's using operating system Mac, so he can transfer to other people who is using Windows and still he can execute. So the reason behind why Java came is like it is we can develop the application as we can develop internet application. So C and C++ were not fulfilling the requirements of internet. So Java came up and it took the responsibility uh, to develop a internet application. So technology is dependent on Java, core Java. Okay. So these are all the dependents, like the base you need to know before you want to learn something about Java frameworks, Java technologies. You have to definitely start with the core Java. So if you learn core Java, you can develop advanced Java, you can develop struts. Nowadays, we are not at all using struts. It is deprecated because it is replaced with the Spring. So we can ignore this struts now. So whenever we learn Spring, so we already cover what it was doing and the problems what were there before Spring came up. So that all resolved by Spring. And if you know core Java, you can learn Android. So you can jump into the Selenium testing as well. And you can learn Spring Boot as well. Clear? Is there any questions here? In understanding what are the technologies? Okay, I hope this is clear.
Yeah, just go ahead. Also.
Yeah, thank you. So other technologies like so Java offers Java Standard Edition. This is core Java. This is enterprise applications like web applications like banking, some Facebook kind of applications, Gmail and all. So mobile applications, micro edition also Java introduced for Android and all. So frameworks just we have seen, and the servers like some of the servers they internally use Java as their implementation. And if you see that, right, this is one of the greatest achievement for Java is like uh, even Eclipse, which I'm using here, it is also developed on Java only. So if you are using if you're using NetBeans, or if you're using STS, or if you're using IntelliJ, all these are IDEs are developed on Java only. So we can see, right, how fast this Eclipse is. Just I have to right click and then run Java application. So it will quickly execute and build and then give the result to me. Okay, that's how it is fast and all. And then, yeah, let's jump into the, so before, Java versions are like 1.0. I'm just quickly fastly going so that we no need to concentrate more on this topic. Just you have to aware of this. They may ask like when this Java 7 came, like that. So that's why I'm just quickly giving short discussion. And yeah, standard edition. So from Java 6 they started giving, from Java 5 they started giving like this version, instead of they were giving like 1.4 1.3 like that. So they updated to versions in this way. So from here Java 8 completely Java structure got changed. They introduced functional programming and all. And now we are in 16. So the latest version is 16, which recently came. So different environments exist in software industry, like development environment, testing environment, production environment. So in development environment, like development will be there, compilation and execution. So developer has to write the code and compile the code and execute the code. So these are the environments needed by. So that's why a developer must need to have a JDK. And testing environment and production, like they just need execution environment only. So they don't do code and they don't do compilation, right? That's why. So this is a JDK folder structure. So as I told, like in our earlier videos, so what are the folder structure inside JDK? So there is a bin we have seen. We have seen like what are the tools available in bin also. That also you can go through and you can understand it. And one more important is like this rt.jar. So this is where I have shown you, right? All these classes, all these packages, which I am showing here, all this present inside this rd.jar. Okay, this is an important jar. So without this, it is very difficult us to do programming. Okay, clear? So I'll jump into the another. So this one we have seen earlier, like, so I'll simply concentrate on Java. So even .NET has a also like dot class file. They have Microsoft IL and they had DLL also for the libraries. So here we call jar file in Java. See, now we are in a important topic, right? We have learned about how we define main method and all. So now you have to answer to me for me to understand that how you understood about main method. Let me know that is it right way of declaring the main method or not.
No,
Okay, I got answer from Chanviz as yes. Anybody else?
no,
So it's not the right way of defining. So why it is not the right way of defining the signature of the main method? Any reason? So let's see in our, yeah. So Ramesh, actually, there are different ways of defining the arguments. Yeah, your understanding is right only. So here in Java, right, I can define the arguments here. Okay, this is the one way which we have seen. And also we can define here the argument array. And also we can define here. There are three ways in Java. So we can define here or before the variable and also after the variable. These three are applicable. Is it clear to you now?
yeah,
Yeah, thanks for the confirmation. So this is a right way of defining it because we have given public and we also mentioned static so that it can call from using the class name, and we defined as void. So no need to return anything to JVM, and we have defined main as a main method. Okay, what about this? The second one, is it right or wrong? Okay, I got from Chanviza right. What about others? Ramesh? Yeah, correct. I got also Ramesh. Yeah. So this is a correct way. Just now we have seen that we can define here, or we can define here, and we can define here. So with that, this is also right. And let's see that public static void is the right way or not. Any guess? You can guess this. Is it right or not? Okay, I got from Chanvi is not. What about others? No. Yeah.
Sure. Oh, wrong one.
Yes. Thank you for the confirmation. Yeah, it is wrong because string array doesn't support doesn't support in front of the type here. So let's see and see. Let's go and see. Does it right? So let me remove all those stuff so that it will be clear for us. Okay. So if you see that it is giving a compile time erration, it is like syntax token, and it is delete this token. It is saying like it is not allowed to mention the array brackets here. So we can mention after the type, before the variable, or after the variable. And this is wrong way. And what about this? Is it right way or not? Okay. Yeah. So this is also a right way, because the variable name can be anything. It no needs to be a Java Express. It can be ABC, or it can be any argument. Okay. Let's see that. I'll simply remove this unnecessary code. See, I can give Java Express. Yeah, I can give like this. I can give any name here. No need to be args. Okay, this is an important question. They'll ask in the interviews as well. Okay. What about this? There is a concept in Java like these are called var args. VAR RGS, var args. So instead of you defining brackets like this, two brackets, you can define with dots also. So these both are one and same. So var args is a topic which will come soon. So as of now, you understand like with the brackets like this, we can also replace with the dots. And this is also right way of doing. What about this? Is the right way or wrong? Yeah, we have to see quickly, otherwise we'll run out of time again. Okay, we got answers right, because we can exchange these two, because I told right after main immediately the next keyword should be void only, like return type. If other than that, it won't accept because it will give compile time. So these two are exchangeable. We can keep static first and public later. So this is the right way. And what about this? Fast guys.
Right.
Okay. Why it is right?
Yes, it can return any value also.
No. No. Because JVM is telling now, give me return type void only.
Mhm.
So if you mention it as int, so JVM cannot understand, right? It is telling like give the return type void only. Then only I can understand. If we mention this, JVM cannot understand because its signature is different, right?
Okay.
Yeah, it is telling like signature means complete this thing. So that's why it is a waste of returning. So JVM always tell like define void, then only I can identify this signature. So what about this? Okay, wrong. Why it is wrong? Okay, cool. So main here, like they gave one I extra, right? That's why it is wrong. What about this? Why it is right?
Take any type of data string.
Yeah. So the problem here, right? I told no while we were seeing here, if I want to pass n number of items here, but if you with this I can pass only 5 items, right? In that case, I am strictly defining it as pass only 5. What if I want to pass 10 arguments here? It is not possible, right? So that's why it will give compilation error. Let's see here in Java. So consider I have given 5. See, it is giving error. Please delete this token because these are unlimited, right? It no need to be a 5 or 6 or we need to stick to some number here, because these are, we can pass unlimited. And what about this? Here, wrong. Why it is wrong? What is the reason? Exactly. If you try to pass some string, so it will fail. That's why it is wrong. So what about this? Exactly. It won't accept more than one argument because it is not array, right? So it is, we are breaking the contract of JVM main method signature, because we may pass multiple arguments. That is not possible here. That's why it's a wrong structure. What about this? Quick guys, because in exam also you don't have time, right? We have multiple things coming in. So right, why it is right, Ramesh? Are we missing something here? We are not taking arguments here, right? So if I want to pass arguments, there is no option. Yeah, it is a regular function, normal function, but we are now doing for main method validation, right? It is a regular function. It is right. It won't give any compilation, but it is not the main method, right? So JVM cannot identify it as a main method. So what about this? Are we missing something here in our signature?
Public.
Yeah, we are missing public here. So JVM, because JVM is not our in-house project, it is outside our project, right? That's why it cannot identify the main method. What about this? Are we missing anything here? We're missing the static keyword, right? So after public, we don't have static keyword. That's why even it would identify. What about this? Yeah, same. So we don't have public static. So that's why both are not there. That's why this is also wrong. Okay. So we have understood till now about main method and Java APIs and all. So we'll learn about other softwares like quickly about JVM and all in coming sessions. And then we'll jump into some of the standalone application and information, and then we'll jump into some of the logical programs we'll see along with that, along with this theory. So yeah guys, so I have prepared some of interview questions also. If you see why Java platform, and this I'll share to you the set of programs which we set of theory what we have understood. I prepared some questions and you have to answer these questions also in a coming session. I'll randomly pick up the people, ask the question. Okay. So with that, you can brush up what we have learned also. I'll share to you. So yeah, I hope this is clear. Shall we wind up this session today? And we'll join at the same time, 7:30 a.m. IST tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for joining.